Finally for this week, and I've left the Over to You studio to come to the third floor of New Broadcasting House, and I'm here to meet Over to You's digital doctor, Anna Doble, to talk about the launch of the new BBC World Service English YouTube channel.
Leave my job.
This is Avinash from India. The BBC World Service channel on YouTube has got amazing videos regarding various topics. They're not exactly news, they're more like podcasts. These videos are a wonderful source of entertainment and knowledge.
Leave the freezing river, and then we feel so good.
So tell me, what's the purpose of this? Because it's not as if YouTube itself is lacking in content, and it's not as if the World Service needs a presence on this platform, or is it?
The extra layer is that we're trying out visualised podcasts. So you'll find you can listen to or watch podcast titles you're already familiar with from the World Service in a new way. And this is really because we found some of the audiences we are trying to serve around the world, especially places like India, there is a real podcast listening and watching habit on YouTube.
Some people might say, hang on a second, we've got a perfectly decent radio service here. If you want to watch visuals and video, you can always go to the TV channels. Is it really worth the money? What would your answer to that be?
So what we've done is we've used our existing digital team and changed kind of the roles and pointed ourselves at new platforms. So all of this is done within our existing resource.
And sitting next to you is Maeve Ritchie, who curates and produces the new channel. On the World Service, you tend to find that most programmes are half an hour to 55 minutes, 50 minutes. Is that the length that you work with on this channel?
Well, we're going to experiment with different lengths and then in a couple of months test our analytics and see kind of what people's appetite is in terms of how long they want to stay in the channel. I think it's really interesting that YouTube, out of all the other social platforms, it does have the longest watch time. And so we're hopeful that people will spend longer here, and a lot of the podcasts that we are putting up are 20 minutes to half an hour long. But we are going to try some smaller chunks from our business programs and from Science and Action, for example, where they have 8 to 10 minute discussions, and we're going to try those as well, and then we'll assess that and see kind of where we are down the line. But there is something about the longer, more in-depth programs that I think sits really well with these immersive visualizations.
Hello, over to you. This is William Silla from Nairobi in Kenya. The revisioning of radio content into YouTube means that it's more likely to be consumed by many more viewers. However, there's still a challenge, especially when it comes to data allowance, because many people, especially those in the village, may not be able to access such content.
Some listeners in some parts of the world will have issues and problems with data and the amount of data that can be downloaded to their phones, for example. How do you deal with that?
I actually think that YouTube is a data lighter platform for people trying to listen or watch in places where data is a lot more expensive. And we've tested download times and all those things on our own platforms, sometimes realise that things take a long time when you hit play, and we understand that. There's an extra layer as well, and that's the subtitling. Because we're using YouTube and we have a wealth of language experts around us here at the World Service, we can use subtitling that the viewer can switch language.
Anna Doble and Maeve Ritchie, thank you both very much indeed. And with that, it's time to say goodbye. I'm Rajan Datar, the producer is Howard Shannon, and we'll be back with more of your feedback at the same time next week.